Now the story is Trent Williams isn't showing up. He's holding out. And you know all that money that Brandon Aiyuk wanted? Well, turns out Trent wants it. And he's better than Brandon Aiyuk. So this is serious. What do you think of what Trent Williams is doing? Do you think the 49ers should capitulate? And, I mean, what do they do what will Trent do if the 49ers don't give in? That's a lot of questions. So you could just go.
Number one, this is not an if but when situation as far as I'm concerned. Trent Williams has operated shrewdly, quite frankly. And the Niners deserve to be in the position that they're in. While we've been talking about Brandon Aiyuk for the entire offseason, Trent Williams has waited and seen exactly where he can strike. And to be honest with you, if there was ever a time for you to kind of be questionable about your career, about where you stand, it would have been Trent Williams. He has no more guaranteed money. The Niners are coming off another Super Bowl where he did not play his best. And on top of it, we're walking into, hands down, one of the most talented and loaded offensive line drafts in the last 20 years. I mean, it was right there for the Niners to get a replacement or try to at least press Trent to be able to say, hey, listen, we value you, but we think that you should be able to play out the rest of your contract. And oh, by the way, our first round pick left tackle that we picked, or our second round pick guy that we picked up, is going to be the replacement if you ask. And I feel like Trent sat back in the weeds. You know, you ever seen that commercial, right? The Sunny D commercial where all of the kids are like, oh, it's the Dave Chappelle joke. Like, oh, we got this. We got apple juice, this purple stuff, and then we got Sunny D. It's like, Sunny D, yeah. And Trent's in the back like, I want that purple stuff. Like, that's exactly what happened, bro. While
very quiet, didn't telegraph his interest, but he knew what he wanted. He knew what he was going to do.
And right now, the Niners are stuck. They have to pay this man. All right. Training camp has started. He is not there. And for a fact, Trent's letting you look at Jalen Moore for the next couple of practices until you get him in there, just to remind you of how much there is a hole on this offensive line. Offensive line was our biggest question. It was our biggest question mark as far as upgrades were concerned this offseason, and Trent read the tea leaves perfectly. He put himself in a position right now where the Niners, the only thing that they can attest to as far as offensive line is Dominic Pooney. Okay?
A guard. Right? You know they haven't drafted an offensive tackle since 2021? Since they drafted Jalen Moore. That's the last offensive tackle they've taken.
I mean, right now, Trent Williams is looking at the offensive line saying, like, you need me. You absolutely need me. And I don't have guaranteed money. So what I'm going to do, go ahead.
You're right. So what's so funny is like the Niners were so pressed about being leveraged by Aiyuk. Oh, we got to draft Ricky Pearsall because God forbid Aiyuk isn't here. As if they don't have like 4 or 5 other all-pro weapons. But on the offensive line, it's Trent and nobody else. And they didn't think that through. Like, hey, if Trent decides that he wants more money, we're screwed. Because like you could argue, man, don't pay him. He's 36 years old. He signed this contract extension. He's going to make plenty of money. Like live. They could like that. I would like. I that's how I feel. But they can't say that because if it's like, cool, I'll retire. Then they're screwed.
All of that would have been viable in May, okay, in February, in March, okay. But as soon as April hit, okay, Trent was moving. He was on. It's like, okay. Well, I just got to wait in the weeds. I can't do it now because there's still viability for trades. Things are still soft, but I'm going to wait until we get to training camp. And then I'm going to let you know I need my bread. And to be honest with you, the foreshadowing of all of this is Christian McCaffrey. He did it first. He was the first player on the team that said, you know what? I don't have guaranteed money and I'm not coming to OTAs.
But they handled that quickly because he didn't, I think, get a major raise in the short term. He got more guaranteed money, but that was something that they could handle. It seems like Trent Williams has made his demand's clear, and the Niners haven't been able to work this out because it's a lot more complicated and expensive. His base salary this year is about $20 million. That's not going to get it done. No. The highest paid offensive lineman in the league is getting $28 million a year on average. So the Niners have $31 million in cap space. I would imagine he wants to be the highest paid offensive lineman in the year. That would require a hefty raise, and next year has to be fully guaranteed. Just as a starting point, he could go to the Niners and say, "I want a 5-year extension."
And you know what? For effect, the Niners are going to front load this deal. They're going to pay him his guaranteed money because it's all about virtue signaling to where he ranks in the league. He always wants to keep that cachet. So he's going to be top 3. He's top 3 paid right now. So at the very least, he's going to be paid top 3. They're going to pay him guaranteed money up front, okay, to give him his money. It's going to be a probably 2-year deal, in my opinion. And we're going to void the rest of that contract out for like 4 years. It's going to happen again. We're going to get another deal where we pay these guys. Dude, the patients are running the asylum. And they can nod and smile as much as they want to, but these players know we lost. At this stage of the game, it's about keeping up. It's about keeping up appearances. We want to win as much games as we can because it matters to our direct cachet as players individually. But at the end of the day, we've lost faith. There's no more hometown discounts. There's no more let's keep the core together. I need my money for protection.
True, because let's just talk about how badly the front office and the team has misread the offseason. Like, I think they thought the players would be like, one more chance. We got this with the last dance. Like, nah. That was last year. That was last year. And next year, it's going to all be about Brock. We know that. And he could get, who knows, 50, 60, 70, who knows how much money it's going to be. We don't know. And we don't know which guys are going to get cut either. And if you don't have guaranteed money left on your deal and you're expensive and you're old, boy, it could be you. So we're seeing players who feel a little insecure and know that they're really important fight for their money now. So that's not great to me, again, that's the story of training camp so far. This stuff. The business of football is overriding football for the 49ers right
now. That's the main point. It should be done right now. So it's also kind of showing like the lack of process of not sewing a couple of things up. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, as far as I'm concerned, the season does not start until we get Trent Williams in the building. I mean, that's not to belittle Brandon Aiyuk or disparage the importance of getting his deal signed. But for what it's worth, who would you rather have under contract right now? Brandon Aiyuk or Trent Williams? I
mean, Trent Williams, I think it's so funny. It's not even a question. I think it's so funny. All offseason, Aiyuk's been talking about how he wants 28, he wants to be, and it's like Trent doesn't go on TikTok or ESPN, but I can imagine him sitting at his home in Texas, wherever he lives, thinking, so Aiyuk wants more money than me. I mean, I like Brandon. He's a good guy, but in no world is he ever making more money than me when we're on the same team. So whatever he wants, guess what, little buddy? That's what I want. And you know what? I'm taking it. It's mine.
Yeah.
That's cutthroat. Hey, Brandon, you know that extension you thought you were going to get? Now it's going to Trent. No one saw it coming. Sorry.
Yeah. And the whole time we're looking at what BA's overtures for his contract look like juxtaposed to where Debo stands with the team. And the overarching umbrella over all of it is Trent is looking at all of this like, wait a minute, none of this moves without me.
Right.
None of this.
We've seen Pro Football Focus do all the lists this year. Who's the best player in the team? Trent. Who's the third best player in the league? Trent. Who, honestly, if he retires or holds out or does whatever he does and doesn't play this year, what's their ceiling?
8 games?
Yeah, I mean, he knows that. They know that. So what are you going to do? How could you put yourself in this situation? And what's crazy is like the Niners are aware of these situations. They try to avoid them. We saw it with Brandon. Brandon was not savvy like Trent was. Brandon telegraphed his moves. He said, this is what I want. He said it early. So the Niners were like, oh, you're going to hold out. You're going to do the XYZ. Well, we're drafting a wide receiver. What are you going to do about it? In your face. Trent just shut the hell up and was like, oh, I'm happy. Oh, the draft is gone. Oh, you went a 4th straight draft without taking an offensive tackle. Cool. By the way, we need to talk. I think that was just incredible.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I think it was great.
Yeah. Wow.
There you go, Trent. You get it. There was nothing else you could say. You did an amazing job in making sure that, number one, and this is another thing, take notes, BA.
Oh.
Take notes. Not one word.
Not one word. Not one word. And I think the key move was not saying a damn thing before the draft. Saying a damn thing before the draft. Like, oh, I'm happy. Oh, you didn't take it off as a tackle? Ha ha. Cool. Because they might have, who knows, if Trent had said, hey, look, I need a lot of money. And he said that in April, then I was like, okay, well, then we're trading up for Marius Mims.
Yeah.
Got to do it. Yeah. And then we'll take a wide receiver in round 2 or something like that. But they just didn't see this coming, which is, I mean, I guess we didn't see it coming either. We didn't spend all offseason talking about Trent Williams, but it's not our job. I mean, you're just
in a world. Is there a world that exists where Trent Williams' true leverage is not the fact of when he asked for his holdout, but the true leverage of Trent Williams is them knowing that he will retire if he doesn't get paid?
Yeah, he's not playing around. He's 36 years old. He's been an All-Pro 3 years in a row. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer if he retires today. So what's left to win the Super Bowl? How much? I mean, he just went last year. It's not all really in his control. And is that his number one concern? Don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, everybody at the end of your career would love a huge little severance package on the way out the door just because of all your vested time with the company. It's like, hey, you need me, right? And this thing does not move without me. And for what it's worth, I'm leveraged. I was leveraged, and you missed the opportunity to utilize that with how you drafted. You cared about getting BA signed, and what did you do? You went out and got a wide receiver in the first round in the most talent-rich offensive line class in the last 20 years. That's what you think I'm that sweet?
Yep.
That's what you think?
Yeah, because right now the Niners are just banking on him being a nice guy.
Yeah, that's it.
Because he's got him. He's got him. I'm not going to use the phrases that are all kind of off color, but he's got him by, where he's got him. And they're basically just being like, all right, Trent, hey man, we love you. Hey, whoa. Let's talk about this.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, at this stage of the game, they got to pay him. This situation, it's honestly, this supersedes Brandon Aiyuk's cut negotiations. If we're talking about rolling out week 1 against the Jets,
it's so obvious. It's like one guy's not there and one guy is. So the guy who's not there is the guy who's in a powerful position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Trent is like, Hove, I show you how to do this, son. Like,
you know how you don't do it? You don't request a trade and then show up to practice and hang out with the GM.